After President Trump won the White House, President Obama put on a big public show to root for his success.
We now are going to want to do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you succeed, then the country succeeds.
But is Mr. Obama privately working to undermine his successor? President Trump thinks so. He says the former president may be responsible for some of those damaging leaks in Washington and is likely helping organize the wave of protests against Republicans.
I think he is behind it. I also think it's politics. That's the way it is. I think that President Obama is behind it because his people are certainly behind it. And some of the leaks possibly come from that group. You know, some of the leaks, which are really very serious leaks because they're very bad in terms of national security. But I also understand that's politics. And in terms of him being behind things, that's politics. And it will probably continue.
Okay, Bob, you're chuckling during that soundbite.
Once again, he can't prove a damn thing he just said. Obama would not release security
information.
Again, you have something in common. And I'll tell you something. Trump better be very careful taking it on Obama, who happens to be 40 points more popular than he is. And if I were Trump, I'd just say thank you and walk away.
40 points. Come on,
like that's not
come on, Bob.
These are
First of all,
you think
the Beckel Almanac.
No,
what page is that on?
You take Rasmussen, who's an 18th century.
No. Real Clear Politics has him at 44, an average of
44, 5 weeks. That's great.
It's 40 days. Go ahead, KG, your thoughts on whether or not President Obama or his people had something to do with leaks.
Yeah, I mean, listen, do the investigation, get to the bottom of it. If your side is so innocent, Bob, then you have nothing to worry about.
Why don't we investigate the Russians who messed around with Trump's campaign? Okay. That's an idea.
Okay, so sorry, that's not what we're talking about right now?
Yeah, but what we're talking about is crap. I mean, there's no reason to put this on here.
Okay, no, but legitimately, so part of the problem with a lot of these leaks is they're citing former officials, like former officials that have worked, meaning they have left, they're no longer working for national security. So a lot of people that have been put in these security positions during the Obama years are obviously going to have some loyalty to President Obama. And I do think that we need to reassess the capacity in which people can get fired from these jobs, which I just found this out, that it is harder to be fired from the government than it is to be fired from a tenure in college. So if there are people that are going to put their personal politics and loyalty to Obama over our national security, yes, this is a huge problem for our country.
I think they ought to be fired.
All right, let's go. Well, they're not fired yet, so maybe they may be a source of leaks.
Yeah, it's Obama loyalists in the deep state bureaucracy that are still there. The town hall protests. Obama isn't coordinating or directing anything, but he's like the dad on the sidelines, shouting advice and encouragement to the kids playing the game.
Yeah.
Because you have Organizing for Action, which is an Obama leak group, which is providing information on how to disrupt events to the town halls. They tell you to loudly boo, to spread out so it looks like everybody's mad, and to ask hostile questions. They provide scripts for phone calls you make to people to tell them what to say.
It's effortless.
Yeah, so basically what he's doing is it's organization that is galvanizing the protests for the town hall protest.
Everyone who showed up at that protest in upstate New York gave an address, and the address was in that district. So that's
I wonder how much information they got.
Wait, this is a full packed block. In the same interview, the president also took aim at Nancy Pelosi, who tried her hardest to diminish his achievement, the president's achievements, over the weekend.
I think she's incompetent, actually. You know, if you look at what's going on with the Democrats and the party, it's getting smaller and smaller. She's done a terrible job. There are those that say I've done more than anybody in 100 days. Hey, look, just at the money I've saved billions and billions of dollars. You know, I think I've done just about more than anybody in the first 4 weeks.
Now, a spokesman for House Minority Leader attempted to turn the tables earlier, saying the president is, quote, projecting his incompetence onto others. Okay, KG.
Yeah.
You look at Nancy Pelosi. She was the Speaker of the House for how many years? 6 or 8 years. And they've lost. They've done nothing but bleed House seats. They've
rewarded failure.
Bleed seats in local municipalities and government, state houses.
Well, thanks to an absence of leadership here in terms of Nancy Pelosi, the Democrats are in a really bad position, but also because of President Obama. I mean, that's his legacy. You know, House, Senate gone, Oval gone, Republicans, swept it. And instead of doing something about it, they put Nancy Pelosi back in. And you can't deny the fact that she's like really not on top of her game. And
Greg,
that's the nicest way I can say it.
And she's the one who said, the Obamacare thing, we'll read it after we pass.
As long as she continues to be the frozen face of opposition, Donald Trump has nothing to worry about.
Agree. Well, part of the problem, too, is that her iron grip on power. She only cares about the radical base that funds her and donates to her campaign and donates to the DNC. When you're talking about the split, and I would be curious to hear your take on this, the ideological split within the Democratic Party, it's so intense. There's so much anger. And a lot of people wanted Keith Ellison to be the new head of the DNC. Now that's not even going to happen. There is no young blood. There are no interesting new people leading this party. And when you have, congressmen from Ohio and people who have won in red states as Democrats, like Senator Heidi Heitkamp, I don't understand why Democrats aren't putting people like that out as an olive branch.
You're right. It is a divided party. But let me just say one thing to you.
That's
Mr.
your
Trump.
rebuttal to me? Yes, it's a divided party. That is
Trump.
not...
Franklin Roosevelt, Lincoln, Kennedy, Johnson, you have done nothing.
That's a dodge.
Nothing.
Take ownership of your own house.
I said our house is falling apart. It's going to have to be put back together with bricks and mortar.
But not by Pelosi.
And maybe with the Chinese wall we're bringing over.
All right, we'll leave it right there. Hey, Kellyanne Conway sits on the comfortable position on a couch in the Oval Office, and the internet's mind it. See, she broke the internet. Our thoughts on the photo everyone seems to be talking about today. That's coming up next.